Shakespeare's wisdom for modern times. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Now, while in part one, we talked about the individual application of this notion of being a player and changing your role, on a more collective level, all the world is a stage and all the world is in a particular story that is being played out on the world stage. And there are times, really important times in human history, when a growing number of people begin to awaken to the fact that the current story that the world stage is portraying is no longer fit for purpose. And I believe we are at such a time in our generation that there is an old story. Joanna Macy refers to it as the industrial growth society, based on the idea of consumption, that casts all of us on the planet primarily as consumers. And that this story is leading to huge amounts of waste, huge amounts of pollution, huge amounts of environmental degradation that are simply not sustainable for the planet and for the number of souls that we hope will be on this planet in 20 years' time. So it's time for the world story to change the story that we are currently living in our stage. And what I'm suggesting, and what I believe some of Shakespeare's wisdom and many other wisdom traditions point to, is that we actually have the capacity to shape an emerging story for the future. The story that we are living right now is no longer fit for purpose. There are many pockets of new stories emerging. And spiritual artistry is one of those little beacons of light shining through, perhaps, from the emerging future to help us move into it more consciously, to figure out what is wrong with the old story. What are the roles that we've got trapped in, being a consumer, being at work for the most part of my life, not seeing my family, not spending time with friends. Many of the complaints I hear from the corporate executives I've worked with for 20 years. And those underneath them often complaining that their life and their work can often feel meaningless, that they are cogs in that machine. And that when we begin to feel that and accept the notion that something is dying, this old stage, this world story that we've been in is actually beginning to crumble before our eyes and in our lifetimes, as I believe is becoming more and more visible when you look at the news these days, then we have the opportunity to create a new story. And the capacity to dream that new story and to act it in, to rehearse it, is one of the gifts of what I call shamanic acting, using theatre and personal development as a powerful tool to change things for the better. Thank you.